Did you know in Crusader Kings 3, there's a bug or a feature that allows you to play as the Pope? During my most recent playthrough, where I failed to form the Roman Empire as a Karling, something surprising happened along the way. I ousted the Pope from his lands and gave him a tribal holding near Denmark. To my surprise, the Pope switched to a tribal government and started raiding me and everyone around him. After the stream, I decided to test if you could take control of the Pope once he became tribal, and sure enough, you can. As the Pope, you can do everything the normal Pope does: grant indulgences, approve divorces, get claims, and even execute people on a whim. If you lose your land, you'll automatically revert to being a theocracy again and not a landless Pope. So today we're diving into this chaos of being a tribal Pope and seeing what random shenanigans we can get up to. You can all see how I've done it. We start in 867. We're gonna start as Italy. So we're gonna create a character. We're gonna make him Mashari or Maghreb, and we're gonna make him a little bit older. We're still gonna be Christian, so we can land the Pope. We're gonna give him a bunch of martial. We started out as a custom character because the Maghrebs start with the trait of Casus Belli, which allows us to just go ahead right off the bat, right from the rip, steal his title so that we can then unland him really quickly. They've been messing with code. Papal elections and crusades rework soon, I hope. Anywhere that's tribal. So we could send his ass to Lithuania. We could send his ass to this area over here. We could send his ass to Norway, steal this title from him. The other thing we have to be watching out for is all of our vassals hate our guts. Maybe make our own Roman Empire with the Pope at the head and just take over the Mediterranean Sea. You know, if you put the Baltic on its axis, another axis, it kind of looks like the Mediterranean. We have secured these lands over here, and I was not even paying attention because I was too busy preventing plots against me. Grant him this. Are we in another war? No. No, okay. Seize our de jure, which we shall. Let's enforce. So we now have our tribal Pope, just in time, just in the nick of time. You get infinite gifts. Yes, we will have a decent amount of gifts. We will have a decent amount of things in general, but we are the Pope now. Can we demand this child's conversion? He says no. What about this guy? He also says no. As the Pope, can we revoke people's lands? No, because we don't have the tribal. Let's go down the martial trek because we're going to be probably conquering all of our neighbors and doing all that. I think our goal is to form a Baltic empire. You can ask the head of faith, aka yours truly, to become in charge of these things. Wow. You could just straight up steal land from people. Anytime we all have gold, people will be clamoring for it. As you can see, request claim. Sure, everybody gets free claims at this point. Why does it say we're in? It says we're here for some reason. I guess we will travel home to get our way going. That's about it. We're the Pope in exile in Lithuania. We're going to form some gross empire out here with our lovely cat named Bruce at our side. It will be glorious. Has the Pope pillaged yet? No, the Pope was trying to get enough piety so that prestige so that he could begin the pillage. Speaking of before we kick the bucket, who else should be excommunicated? Is our boy still in power? He somehow still is in power. That's crazy. Alfred, some said earlier. Mercia. This guy's having a bad day. Shy, wrathful, paranoid. Guess what? I'm going to add to that level of unfun. Excommunicated. Just like that. The petty king of Mercia got excommunicated. Celestianus II has crossed the door to the world of spirits. 70 years old. He has died of old age. Hallowed shell of his former self, he has long lost his wits by the time he is final passing. Your lineage has come to an end. For over a decade, you have followed the dynasty of D. Rassanian, but remains obscure, will be forgotten. Choose a new character. Vamos, more Pope. Now we're a 26-year-old Pope. I mean, this is an interesting way to play the game because at the end of it, you're just kind of like, there's no consequences to your succession. Like, all the lands that were my previous character's lands are once again my lands. I guess if we get overthrown, that would be kind of unfortunate. But as long as we just die, things are fine. Oh. Well, send the Pope back into exile, chat. That's the goal every time. We could give it to a Muslim for sure, and then maybe grant them independence or something. No, that might not do it. I swear I'll send people. All right, glory. All right, back to the papal seat. He is not having a good time. I've only played CK2. Is CK3 better? I think CK2 is a much different game than CK3. I think CK2 is a game at the end of its life cycle, a game that is complete. I would say the experience of them are different. I would say CK3 does a much better job of streamlining a lot of the processes that CK2 did. That being said, I like CK3 better just because it looks better and plays better, but CK2 has still a lot of validity as being a fun medieval sim. That was a very politician answer. There are a lot of people who still play CK2, and like if you like that game, totally more power to you. As a person who's been playing a lot of CK3, I don't think I could go back and play CK2. I've never done a tour as a... God, is it saying we're all the way in... I think the game consistently thinks we're down here for some reason. So we always have to make that journey back to our capital. Throw every party you can. Always play as Austria with a own character and take over Iceland and Britannia and reform Austria. That's pretty fun. Looks like this is becoming good. So we will never get Rome back. That's good. Who shall we excommunicate? We have East Francia, King Karl II, the Mad. He's a lunatic, but he is generous. He is temperate, calm, and cynical. Bavaria, the corrupt. Psh. Excommunicate that AS. Have you ever seen a pagan faith actually reform by itself with no interest? Reforms a lot because 3 of the holy sites are usually within Ghana's control. So if the Ghanaians can get their act together, should CK3 add the anti-pope? I forget what the system was like in CK2, but I feel like the papacy needs to be a little bit more nuanced than it currently is. I don't really like how the system works. Imagine in this world, this canon is the Pope was kicked out of his lands and now is going on a murderous, or not a great expansion, truly cursed. This is a dumb question, but is there somewhere in the Catholic doctrine that the Pope has to be a man? Because not all priests can only be men. Is that the reasoning? You started a legend? Yeah. I don't know, man. We're playing out of pocket Crusader Kings 3. Kevin's favorite version of Crusader Kings 3, where he's just like, yeah, I rock with it. Where we just kind of do whatever. I mean, this just goes to show you how much cash is important in this game. We haven't really... We have a decently sized army, but the only real thing that's been propping us up is constant influx of cash. Without this influx of cash, we'd be in a tough situation. Sorry, I've got to masticate really quickly on some banana. Who's my favorite historical leader? I'd say something not racist. Not problematic either. It's hard. There's a lot of problematic leaders. I mean, everybody kind of sucks. Human beings in general kind of suck. Lord Farquaad. Yes. Good comms. Okay. Let's make this a quick war against the Danes. They'll never see it coming. Go home, Lithuania. You're drunk. Do you know any other streamers? I know a couple of streamers. Like, Fluve is probably the only one I am in constant contact with, but I know... If you look at our Twitch, you will see a couple streamers that I personally interact with daily, but Fluve is the one I'm constantly in contact with. Also, oh no, our dearest soulmate has died of what? Died from being ill. Oh. Is this how we die? From sadness? From drink binging or a stuffed corpse? Oh God. This could be a fun little addition to Crusader Kings 3. Some of the major stress events already come with pretty drastic lifelong debuffs to reflect the toll they take. For example, the Pickled Head event decreases 3 of your stats, while the Stuffed Corpse event impacts piety, prestige, and general opinion, which makes sense given the circumstances. These debuffs are already flavorful, but what if they also became court or inventory artifacts? We already have mummification in the game, which means Paradox has the power to do it. So why not let us have the tangible version of these macabre stress-induced items? They wouldn't need to provide bonuses or be destructible, but they could serve as a quirky physical reminder of the random head or corpse you're hauling around. Would this be a fun addition? Seize all titles within the realm belonging to the blah blah blah. Yeah, I'd rather do the Kingdom Invasion. Breaking even with a path to profitability. Yeah, I wish we are not breaking even yet. That's hopefully happening this year. Especially last year, we got an incredible amount of subscribers. We went from like 3,000 to 13,000. Either way, we had a decent amount of subscribers, and I hope that continues this year, and we just gain more and more of a community. I mean, the only reason to play the step is to, if you want to play as Genghis Khan. Outside of that, there's not really a reason to do it. Same with India. It's like there are some cool buildings and there's some cool faith stuff you can do, but that's why I wish, that's something I hope to see change, is a little bit more reason to go out there and do stuff. Because it's not like, I don't know Indian history that well, but I would imagine they got a lot going on in the medieval age still too. I mean, we could let it go to a civil war, but I don't really want to fight a civil war. Nueva Roma. Welcome to New Rome, where all the cool kids hang out. Old Rome sucks. Boo. You got the Colosseum, sucks. You got the Vaticano, sucks. Welcome to New Rome. We're way cooler and more sexy with our Temple of Upsilon. Shit. Pope Celestianus III has found peace in Christ's embrace at the age of 51. He drank himself to death. Shameless fornicator. He was remembered for his uncontrolled, insidious lust. What a guy. Make everybody happy. Have a nice little feast in New Rome. We have to make our new pilgrimage every year from the Vaticano all the way up to New Rome. What do you guys think is the best position? I feel like the two most important positions in my playthroughs is probably Chancellor, because he does a good job of keeping everybody equally happy, and then Spy Master, just keeping anybody from killing you. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wars probably, and we're good. This guy grew up to be 102. What happened to the former Italy rulers? This family have they died off? No. Well, maybe. Oh no! My wolf son has died. Son of wolves. So sad. Now we cannot nominate anybody. The combat is super fun. I do enjoy that, but there are a lot of elements missing. I just want Crusader Kings 3 to just become Bannerlords eventually, but I doubt that's... There was a mod at one point that would let you switch between the two games. What are the requirements to become the Genghis Khan? Can the Pope be Genghis Khan? No, he has to be Tengri. That's right. You can't be Tengri. Minus that hiccup, you could probably become Genghis. You also think as the Pope we'd be able to choose our Archbishop, but no, we're still beholden to, like any other ruler, we're beholden to some bullshit. Asking for gold, illegal. Giving gold, legal. She had the right idea. What happens if I convert to Adamites? Okay, let's click this button and see what happens. I think it might crash the game. Nothing happened. We've just fake converted. So it will be this weird Pomerania, Estonia, Lithuania, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, not Sampi. Should we get a little bit of Sampi? I don't really care to get a little bit of Sampi. Let's just go ahead and found the empire. A realm reforged. I've done what no one else could do. I united the lands of the papacy with those of Pomerania and Lithuania. Oh, look at this disgusting mess I've created, chat. Oh no. Yes, you can play as the Pope in vanilla Crusader Kings 3. You just need to exile him to tribal lands first. Of course, there are some quirks, like always starting in Rome, which means you'll need to travel to your capital if you want to do any activity. Also, having to take control of the new Pope after the old Pope's death. Plus, your game can grind to a halt if a devout Catholic decides to return Rome to the papacy. Still, it's a unique and an entertaining run if you're up for the bugs. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching this. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a good rest of your day. Ciao.